Hello everybody, Mega Goal 4, 11 for meaning and function, pages 44 and 45. Now let's take a look at the objectives. Number 1, expressing wishes, regret and criticism. Number 2, expressing criticism as well. Number 3, such that, so that. And number 4, can't, could, couldn't, must, may or might. Okay, so these are the objectives that we will be covering in this lesson. So right now I'd like you to move on to pages 44 and 45 and please follow up with me as I explain this lesson. So as usual, just a reminder, the title of this unit is Laugh Out Loud and we will be looking at 11 for meaning and function. Now, the first thing we will be looking at is expressing wishes, regret, and criticism. كيف نعبر عن التمني أو الندم أو النقد. So let's take a look here at the first thing, which is the verb wish. الفعل wish اللي هو معناه يتمنى. We use wish for things that happened in the past that you regret. للأشياء اللي حصلت في الماضي that you now regret. الآن تندم عليها. Okay, so here we have a couple of statements to look at. I didn't see the TV comedian. I couldn't get the joke. I switched off before the end of the TV show. So if you have realized, these statements are in the past. الجمل هذه في الماضي. Okay, so what are you gonna do is that you are gonna wish for things that happened in the past that you now regret. أشياء حصلت في الماضي لكن الآن تندم عليها. So the first thing قاعدة خذوها أن أي شيء في الماضي راح تتمنون أو you are gonna start your statement by saying I wish. راح تبدأون جملتكم ب I wish بيتحول إلى past perfect. Okay, past perfect يتكون من had plus verb 3. had والتصريف الثالث للفعل. Now let's take a look at the first one. I didn't see the TV comedian. So what you are gonna do first is that you're gonna start with your statement with I wish. راح تبدأون جملتكم ب I wish. Okay, so you are gonna wish for the opposite. شيء طبيعي إن لما تتمنى راح تتمنى عكس الشيء. فإذا كانت الجملة negative راح تتكون affirmative، لكن إذا كانت الجملة affirmative إذا استخدمت I wish راح تتحول إلى negative. طبعا I didn't see the TV comedian it will be I wish I طبعا يتحول إلى past perfect اللي هو had والتصريف الثالث للفعل. So I had seen okay the TV comedian and full stop. I couldn't get the joke, so you're gonna start saying I wish. Okay, طبعا again I okay had been able to, for example, get the joke. And full stop. Now let's take a look at this statement. I switched off before the end of the TV show. So you are gonna start by saying I wish. Now this statement هذه الجملة is affirmative مثبتة, so you're gonna wish for the opposite اللي هي راح يكون negative. الopposite طبعا عكس الجملة it will be negative. As I said previously الجملة في past فراح تستخدمون past perfect. So I wish I hadn't طبعا and switched off before the end of the TV show and full stop. Okay, so that's it. Now sometimes of course we use wish and if only for things that you want to happen now or in the future but which you know probably won't happen. برضو نستخدم الwish والif only مع الأشياء اللي تريد أن تحدث، ممكن الآن أو في المستقبل، لكن تعرف أنها ممكن لا تحصل. Okay, so here let's take a look at the statement. I'm not a big fan of his jokes. I feel down today. The comedian cannot make people laugh. So if you have realized that these statements are in the present، هذه الجمل أو statements في present اللي هو الحاضر. So you're gonna wish, okay, for things you want to happen now or in the future, but you probably know that these things won't happen. هذه الأشياء ممكن ما تحصل. if the statement in the present، القاعدة تقول إنهم راح مع استخدام verb wish راح تتحول إلى الماضي. طبعا وانتوا عارفين مثل ما قلت لكم إن إذا كانت الجمل affirmative فالwish راح تكون negative، لكن إذا كانت الجمل negative فالwish راح تكون طبعا affirmative. So I wish, okay, now this one is negative, so we are gonna wish for the opposite of it, so it will be affirmative وطبعا راح تتحول إلى الpast. So I wish I found, for example, his I found his jokes funny, and full stop. Now I feel down today. You can start your statement by saying that I wish. Now I feel down today, so I didn't feel in the past again. Okay, I didn't feel now down today. So I'm just gonna highlight here the verbs. Okay, now the comedian cannot make people laugh, so you can say the comedian wishes. طبعا لأن الكوميديان third person singular and third person singular الفعل ياخذ اس. So the comedian, and you're gonna say wishes. Okay, he طبعا can الماضي منها could والعكس cannot بصير could. So he could make people laugh. Okay, so this is regarding this part. So if the statements are in the present, if you're gonna use the verb wish, they were gonna be changed into the past. Okay, now how about this statement? He won't lend me his car. My brother will leave for college soon. So these statements are in the future طبعا. So you're gonna start your statement by saying I wish. Now want هي أساسا will not طبعا فبتتحول إلى would. So of course you're gonna say he, and then let's say would, and you can complete the sentence lend me his car. فمن المعنى واضح أنه he won't lend me his car. I wish he would lend me his car. طبعا this is, you are talking about something that you want to happen now or you want to happen in the future actually, but you probably know that it won't happen. So he won't probably lend you his car. Okay, my brother will leave for college. You can say I wish. So I wish for example my brother. طبعا هنا تستخدمون الفعل would. طبعا هنا I can say my brother would stay. يعني هنا تعني نفس يعني عكس الجملة. واضح صحيح إن ما استخدمت for example wouldn't، بس هنا المعنى نفسه، يعني المعنى عكسه عفوا، عكس إن my brother will leave for college. Okay, now this is regarding this part. Now let's move on to expressing criticism، التعبير عن النقد. So we use wish or if only with would to express irritation or annoyance, okay, with a situation or particular action of someone else. طبعا لما أعبر عن الناقد ممكن أستخدم wish أو if only مع would للتعبير عن الانزعاج أو التعبير إنه أنا منزعجة من موقف معين أو من شخص معين أو موقف من شخص معين. Now let's take a look here. I'm gonna give you a couple of examples in order to explain to you what do we mean by that. Okay? Now let's say here we are gonna say, for example, I wish. Okay? طبعا هنا I wish, let's say he would, for example, he طبعا wouldn't use his cell phone in class. Use his cell phone in class. هنا أنا طبعا استخدمتها كتعبير عن النقد أو الانزعاج من موقف معين من شخص معين، فاستخدمت wouldn't. أوكي، طبعا ممكن أقول برضو I wish. Okay, I wish, let's say the children okay, would, yes, so the children would, for example, stop interrupting، يعني المقاطعة. okay، طبعا هنا مثل ما وضحتكم استخدمنا would طبعا وعكسها wouldn't للتعبير عن الناقد أو للتعبير عن الانزعاج من شخص معين أو موقف معين من شخص معين. Now you have to use if only in the place of wish to express a wish, regret or criticism more emphatically، طبعا بشكل قاطع. استخدمها لما أريد أشير إن على الأمنية أو الندم أو النقد بشكل أكثر حزم أو أكثر قطعية. If only it would stop raining I wouldn't feel so depressed. okay، يعني هنا الفرق بين if only بدلا من wish طبعا للتعبير عن الناقد أو التعبير عن الندم أو أمنية، لكن بشكل أكثر قطعية. okay، now let's move on to the next thing, which is such that, so that. متى استخدم such that and so that? We use them to make the meaning of an adjective or an adverb stronger. okay، مثلا أقول she is so beautiful, it is such a beautiful day. okay، فهنا استخدمها مع الصفة أو الadverb لأني أعطي معنى أقوى. and also we use them such and so that to show a cause and effect. okay، it was such a beautiful day that we went out. okay، so يعني الكوز والإفكت، لأن اليوم جميل قررنا إن احنا نطلع. okay، now let's take a look at these examples. لازم تفرقون هنا، جدا مهم إنكم تفرقون بين such و so. Now such is followed by an adjective and followed by a noun و that. The new TV sitcom is such، هنا لو تلاحظون such جاء بعدها adjective، a funny show that he had everyone in the class watched it. طبعا مثل ما وضحتكم تستخدم such هنا that لإعطاء معنى أقوى للadjective، وطبعا جاء بعدها funny وshow يعني صفة وبعدها اسم وتبين الكاز والإفكت. يعني the new TV sitcom المسلسل الكوميدي جدا مضحك، فعشان كذا مثل ما قلت لكم he had everyone in the class watched it. جميع اللي في الفصل شاهدوا. okay، now as for so يجي بعدها adjective or adverb و that، يعني ما يجي بعدها اسم. فهنا the comedian was so amazing that he had everyone in stitches. okay، طبعا مثل ما وضحتكم تستخدم لإعطاء معنى أقوى للصفة أو للadverb وتوضح ال cause وال effect. We laughed so much that we had tears in our eyes. Okay. So هنا بس أوضح لكم إن الفرق بين such لو تلاحظون يجي بعدها فقط صفة وبعدها noun، لكن so ممكن صفة وممكن adverb، واثنينهم عشان تستخدم لإعطاء معنى أقوى وكذلك to show the cause and effect. Okay, so this is regarding this part. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is can't, must, may or might. Now we use to make speculation, or you are assuming something and to draw conclusion، يعني الافتراض أو إني مثلا استنتج، خلاص تستخدم can't, must, may or might. Now as for must, okay, we use it to say that we are sure of something. He must be a teacher. أنا متأكد من شيء. As for cannot or couldn't, we use it to think that it is something that is impossible. He cannot be right. Okay, he couldn't be right. إنه شيء مستحيل. As for may, might or could, to say that something is possible. He might be right. ممكن يكون صحيح هذا الشيء. Okay. Now let's take a look at these examples. Okay, لازم تعرفون وش المعنى. مهم جدا تعرفون إن must معناها كذا. أنا متأكد من هالشيء. He must be a doctor. Okay. Now he cannot be right. Something that is impossible. ممكن طبعا تقيسون على الأمثلة البقية. Now you can say that something is possible by using might, could or may. He might be right. ممكن. Possible. Now let's take a look at the example. The story about green aliens cannot be true. Okay, so cannot be true. Now it might be a prank. It must be April the 1st. طبعا April Fool. طبعا هنا cannot be to express that something impossible, might be that something possible, must be يعني it must be April Fool اللي هو يعني دايما اليوم الأول من شهر إبريل يعتبر يوم الكذب. okay يعني طبعا this is not يعني accurate، يعني this is not alright، مش يعني إن we should follow، لأن الكذب أصلا يعني عارفين إنه already should be forbidden in our religion. Anyways, now this is just a Western culture. Now as for the present, you have realized probably that these statements are in the present, so you could see that the model اللي أقصد بها can, could, must بعدها يجي البase form المصدر. Now the story about the green aliens cannot have been true. It might have been a prank. It must have been April the 1st. Now if you have realized that the statement is in the past, تكوين هيكون الموديل can, could بعدها have والتصريف الثالث للفعل. Okay, so this is just يعني الفرق بين هذه وهذه، إن هذه في present وهذه في past. Now that's it. We have talked about expressing wishes, regret, and criticism. We talked also about expressing criticism, and also we have talked about such, that, and so that. Also we talked about must, might, can, could, and so. Okay, now I'd like you to move on to page number 44. Now we will be looking at this one. We'll be doing only one per exercise.